If you're a real estate agent, I fully believe that you should start a YouTube channel and you should do it today. So in this video, we're going to go through and touch on all of the things that you need to know so that you can get started today. At the very end, I'm going to give you 3 videos that you should start your channel with and the 2 metrics that you didn't know that you should be on the lookout for. But first, this is the After the License channel. I'm Jeff Binder. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. So why should you jump into YouTube? YouTube is important for 2 reasons. First off, it is owned by Google. Google is the biggest search engine in the world. And that leads us to the second reason. YouTube is the only social media type site that's actually a search engine. So what do I mean by that? Consumers actually go to YouTube to look things up. It might be how-to videos, it might be recipes, but it's also what communities look like, what it means to move to your area, things about real estate, questions about the real estate process. So the fact that it's actually also a search engine is really, really powerful. What that means is when you create a piece of content on YouTube, it doesn't disappear like some of the other social media platforms in 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes with Instagram and Facebook, it feels like we can post a piece of content and it ultimately goes away once it's kind of cycled through your followers and that discover feed. With YouTube, that is not the case. You can create a video and have that show up and be shown to people months and years down the road. And if you don't believe me, go to YouTube, type in a search term, and you'll see videos there at the top of the search rankings that were posted 3 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. So this is what makes YouTube so powerful. The first hurdle that people always talk about is their video quality. They feel like they have to have an expensive camera to get started on YouTube. And that is just not the case. The best YouTubers start with just their phone. Your phone, if it's somewhat new and you purchased it in the last 12 to 24 months, has high def recording capabilities. And so you don't need a fancy camera to get started. You can just start with just your phone. Now, if you have a few dollars to invest in your setup, the 2 things that you really should focus on are lighting and sound. You can get a cheap ring light on Amazon or Walmart for $40 to $80 where you can have a little light hit you and that will make your picture quality all the better. Lastly, with sound, you can buy a lavalier mic, one of those that clip onto your collar or to your shirt, and you can have it set up where it actually plugs into your phone. And that little microphone will actually produce much better sound quality than just talking into, the phone piece of your setup. So investing in lighting and sound can really elevate your video without having to invest a ton of money. The second big hurdle that people always talk about is editing. Editing is this big dread that a lot of people have, and I get it. Editing is time consuming and it's complicated. And if you open up one of those pieces of software, your head might spin off. So what you should do is look to outsource it. Unless you like editing, unless you like that creative side of it, unless you have experience with it, outsource it, delegate it. So go to a site like Fiverr or Upwork and find someone who's willing to edit your videos. You can find fantastic editors. Again, Patrick from Upwork is out editing this right now. You can find fantastic editors to delegate out this work if it's not something that you want to specialize in and it's not something that you want to own. So you can delegate the editing to, again, someone on Fiverr or Upwork who specializes in this thing so that you don't have to invest the time into actually learning the craft of editing. Okay, so let's touch on the 3 videos that you should create and the 2 metrics that you should look at. So when you're starting your YouTube channel, specifically for real estate leads, you want to attract people who are relocating to your city or your state or are thinking about buying in your area. So the 3 videos that you should create are pretty simple. What are the pros of living in your city, state, town subdivision, right? Pick one of those and do a pros video. You should also do a cons video. What are the things that you don't like about living in the area that you're living in or the area that you're selling in? The third video that I think you should create is going out and actually touring some potential neighborhoods that someone might be looking to buy if they're in a particular price range. All 3 of these videos can not only rank highly when someone's searching keywords, when someone wants to move to your area, but it'll actually position you as a market expert and a community expert because you're giving them the lowdown of why they should live there, why they might not want to live there, and what real estate in that area looks like. So those videos are great to start your channel off with, and go and look at other real estate channels to see what they're having success with and tailor those to your specific area. Always look at what other people are having success with and figure out how you can tweak it for your market and for your area. So what are the 2 metrics you should look at? There are 2 key metrics when you're starting out your real estate channel. The first one is click-through rate. So what this is this is a metric that YouTube keeps to show you how many people actually click on your video when it's displayed to the public. Your click-through rate is ideally above 5%. And if it's not, that means that you should adjust one of 2 things, either the title of your video or your thumbnail. Again, a thumbnail is huge when someone's actually clicking on a YouTube video. The second metric that you should look at is your average view duration. YouTube looks at this and they decide, okay, is someone actually watching 50 or 60 or 75% of this video? If they're only watching 5 or 10%, it's probably not that engaging. So as you start your YouTube channel, look at that average view duration to figure out how much of my video are people watching. Anything over 50%, I know, sounds crazy, anything over 50% is really good. If you're below that number, you might want to try and make your videos a little bit more engaging, have a little bit more editing to them, or just be a little bit more fast-paced and exciting. Okay, that was everything you need to know, in my opinion, to get started on YouTube today. Now, go take your phone and start shooting, and don't hesitate to get started. The biggest thing with creating content and creating videos is just consistency. So go out there, crush it. If you have any questions or comment about this, drop a comment below, and I'll catch you on the next one.